Okay, this is you and me. This jar of water is you and me. We're very pure and clean inside. We are who we are, at least on our best days. Unfortunately, what tends to get in the way are other people's beliefs, and specifically for this episode, our parents' beliefs. Now, if you can kind of see what's in here, it's a bunch of dirt. It's just wonderful planting dirt. Now, planting dirt on its own, just like your parents' beliefs belong with them. They do not belong inside of your head because they screw it up just like this. Now, the thing is I realized this all this week, but I also realized a way to get rid of them. And if you're kind of interested in that, stick around. I'm Michael Kowal, and welcome to my world. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go into, first of all, how this all happened, this realization. And it's something that I've known for a while, right, about my parents' beliefs. I think we all know that we get a lot of our parents' beliefs. But this one was a little bit different. So I'll take you through exactly how it happened in the meditation, what I was looking for. And then the second thing I'll do is I'll tell you exactly the shift in thinking is what it really was. It was I began to see things differently, and that's what really blew this whole thing open. And then all of that led to what I then did in the meditation, which was releasing all of those beliefs of my parents. And I'll actually take you through here a kind of like a, guided meditation, just 5 minutes, visualization, whatever you want to call it, just so you can get a feel of how you can do this. And then you can take it on to do yourself each day. And I would recommend doing it each day for a little while, because God knows if the beliefs have been in there for a while, it may take more than a day and a half to get rid of them. Anyways, so let's get started. So the meditation. Now, I meditate every morning, and it's been fantastic for me. I've let go of a lot of crap in my life, a lot of crap beliefs and all of this stuff. But and also it's kind of fun because it's like a game in a way. It's like, okay, what can I do this time? What can I, learn and get rid of and all of these things? Because like anybody else, and I'm sure like you, we all just want to grow and we want to get better and we want to just express fully who we are, right? We want to create the world that we want, our dream life. So in meditation a couple of days ago, I was in there and I kind of go, there's a lot of times where I stop myself still. I've let go of a lot of things in my life and I've replaced a lot of the bad, poor beliefs in my life. But I'm still finding myself blocking myself. It's like I stop myself, I block myself, and I do that many ways, from saying, okay, well, you suck, or you're never going to be able to do this, or you know what, you'll never have the money that you want, or these things aren't going to happen the way you want it, and whatever. You can fill in your own blanks for yourself, right? So in the meditation, I sat there and I said, okay, well, what's really why am I stopping myself? What exactly is the mechanism going on? Because I've done this for a long time, even though I've, released a lot of stuff here. And the answer that came back was your parents' beliefs. And I was kind of like, well, I already knew that, right? We all kind of get the concept. I said it I'll put it over here, the link, but for the limited beliefs that we get, a lot of times they're from, people outside of us, parents and friends, enemies, whatever. And you pick up beliefs and then you take them in as your own and you keep continuing to believe them. And so, I've known that, right? Oh, yeah, it's my parents, right? I get that intellectually. But then the funny thing is right after that came, I also sat there and I go, oh, wow. And this was the shift of thinking. And this was what I looked at things differently. And all of the thoughts that I have and this, now that I say it, it sounds like, okay, this is an of course moment, not an aha moment, but an of course moment. Didn't you see this earlier? But I guess I didn't really see it to this level. And what it was I started looking at those things where I go, okay, God, you suck. You can't do this right. You're never gonna, get this solved. You're never going to have the money that you want. You're never going to have the house that you want, or, whatever else it is. And then I realized, oh my God, those were all my parents' beliefs. they're not mine. They were my parents' beliefs. Even though I intellectually knew that my parents' beliefs affected me, et cetera, I lived with them for however long and all this stuff, I didn't really get that the beliefs that I'm still thinking with, that I'm still afraid of, all of these inside fears, they were my parents' beliefs. Now, my parents grew up during the Depression. So let's talk about money for a little bit. My parents grew up during the Depression. They were young at that point. Now, my father, he was kicked out of his house at the age of 15 in the middle of the Depression. And he had to fend for himself after that. So he was stuck on the streets as of age 15. And if you don't think that'll affect you, and if you don't think that that'll stick some beliefs and thoughts inside your head, I think you get the fact that it will. My mother, came from a family of 8. And so she also grew up during the Depression, young. She was 3 years younger. So maybe what was that, 12, 13 or something? So they went through a lot of things, and they fought hard, and they fought hard with each other, but they fought hard, and they gave us a really great life. I mean, I was very, very fortunate in that. But the thing was growing up with them, you tended to get little things on the side. I've kind of mentioned this before, all the rich people, they're just out to screw you, right? Or, we're never going to be able to get this, or this is too much money, or whatever. Then you get into all the personal beliefs, right? Which is that my mother was always trying to please people. And maybe that's a lack of self-worth, maybe. So, of course, I have a huge lack of self-worth. And I sit there and I kind of go, I'm always trying to please people, to get them to like me, etc. But that's not really, in the end, doesn't work out really great. And I've seen all these things. But instead of that I learned them from my parents, I realized those are actually their beliefs and their thoughts. And that's what shifted here for this. And that's what was so amazing. And that's what came then. The next thing is the whole, this thing, right? I began to see that my parents' beliefs inside of me had no more business being inside there than this dirt has to be, that this dirt should be inside this water. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be. The dirt is just there. Now, the dirt did nothing wrong. My parents did absolutely nothing wrong. They were dealing with the hand that they were dealt with. And as a matter of fact, if you want to look back even further, there's a good chance that those beliefs that they had, whether it was self-worth, it was doubting themselves, all of these, chances are pretty good they came from their parents. And their parents probably got them from the parents before that. And I think I've thought this before too, is that a lot of times I think one of our purposes here in life is to break the chains of all of those old thoughts and beliefs. But I guess I was falling into the belief that it's like that I take on those beliefs. I come to believe those beliefs. But no, that's what I realized in the meditation. These are actually literally their beliefs. And we take them on as children. And the synapses get wired, etc. And they feel sure as hell like our own. They feel sure like, Michael, why are you still believing that? Well, you don't have to. And that's what the meditation is about. Because what you can do is, you're not looking to get rid of the single beliefs. You're not looking at myself, and let's say if I stop myself for some reason, or I think I don't deserve a particular thing, I shouldn't be looking at getting rid of that one belief. It's getting rid of the entire belief system that I got from them, from both sides of them. And that's where the magic of this whole thing is. So if you're ready, what we're going to do is I'll walk you through it right here. And I'm just going to take you through. I'm just going to talk, and I'm going to tell you kind of what the things are that I was thinking and the things that you can think. And we're just going to go through it. So in a second, I'll have you close your eyes, because I find that that's the best way. And if you want to keep your eyes open, you can, no problem. Chances are I'm going to close my eyes, because I find it a lot easier to kind of get into the feel and flow of that. And the feel is, okay, here's another tip for you as you do this. And in any change that you want to make, Because we can make the change intellectually, right? We can change our thoughts, or we can try to change our thoughts. But where true, deep change happens, I've been finding very much recently, is when you change the feelings underneath, when you change with the feeling. So you can begin by feeling those beliefs and fears and thoughts and all of those things. But the real magic happens is when you feel the end point that you want to get to. Now, in our case, we're going to get to this end point of looking at ourselves as just simple, pure, beautiful water, right? That's what we're going to use. So when you can feel that as the end point where you are completely free and you're open, you no longer have these other beliefs inside of you, that's the place you want to get to. And that's where the magic will happen. And that's where the change happens. And that's what's been happening to me for the past couple of days as I continue to do this every day. And I will do this for a long time. Because chances are, if these beliefs were gifted to me when I was a young pup, and I've held on to them this long, it may take more than a day and a half of doing this to get rid of them forever. But anyways, so you ready? Then let's go. So now, let's take 3 long, deep breaths. I want you to relax into yourself, feel the center of yourself, and on the exhale, feel yourself dropping down in, relaxing, letting go, releasing. On each breath out, releasing, letting go. As I said before, I'm going to close my eyes right now for myself. I just find it a lot easier. I would probably recommend that you do the same, but if you'd like to leave your eyes open, totally fine. But let's start by closing our eyes and then taking one long, deep breath in. And release. Letting go of everything. Once again, in breath. And release. Feeling yourself relax, deepening. And final breath in. And release. Exhale, release, letting go. And now, I want you to picture yourself in your day-to-day life. And many times, a lot of times, it feels as if life is a whirlwind and things are spinning around past each other. You try to focus in on one thing, but you can't because there's something else coming by you. It always seems like it's churning and whirling like a cyclone, like a tornado. It's difficult to stop. It's difficult to create the things that you want because there's so many, many things stopping you in your life. Those are your beliefs and your fears and everything else that seems to get in the way of the dreams that you want, of the relaxation that you want, of the letting go, because everything whirls and swirls so quickly and it's difficult to stop. I want you to imagine yourself that same whirling and swirling, but actually you're inside of a glass. And in that glass is dirty water whirling and swirling just like a cyclone, just like a tornado. Everything is whirling and swirling together until everything becomes one almost. It's difficult to stop. It's impossible to stop. It's impossible to focus on any one thing because there's always something else coming up. And it's whirling and swirling and it's flying past each other and it's difficult to stop. But into this, I want you to see those pieces of dirt flying past as what they really are. Those pieces of dirt that are flying around in there, whirling and swirling past you, are the beliefs that you want to get rid of. It's those fears, those things that block you and stop you. It is those things that are not helpful at all, and you've wondered how you can let go of these things. They keep stopping and getting in the way, and as soon as you want to stop to try to make something happen, to stop these things, they slip out of your fingers quickly, and they come back, and they come back, and they come back. And it becomes frustrating as you whirl and twirl inside of here, inside of this glass, inside of this whirlwind of yourself and your beliefs and your fears and your thoughts, whirling and swirling around. But you slowly begin to realize, I want you to see that it's not just all one thing whirling and swirling in there. It's not one complete mass, because there are two separate, very separate things whirling and swirling in there. And the first is the dark bits of beliefs, those things that block you and stop you. But what they are suspended in, what they are in, is pure, beautiful water. But you forget that because everything whirls and swirls, and you can't see and you can't feel and you can't stop a thing, and everything keeps going. But you have to realize that inside the biggest thing there is you. It is yourself. It is your beautiful self. It is cool, clear, beautiful, crystal clear water. And you begin to see it begin to separate those things. You begin to call the water home. You call yourself home. You realize that you've been hypnotized into feeling these other beliefs and fears and thoughts. And you think that they are you, but they're not. They're separate from you, as small pieces and bits of dirt are suspended in a glass of dirty water. And things begin to slow down a little bit as you pull this focus away. You pull this focus back onto who it is that you should be focusing on, which is yourself. Your beautiful, amazing, silvery, clear, bright self, the water that is truly there. And as you pull them apart, you're able to see these beliefs and these thoughts and these fears more clearly. You understand it's like they've been with you for all of your life. They have been hurting you. You've been hurting yourself with them as they whirl and swirl throughout your life, but you begin to see them as separate. You begin to see them as what they are. And you can now feel each one separately. You know those ones that hurt you. You know those ones that are painful and that cause your life to be nothing but pain. And you see them for what they are, just simple thoughts and beliefs. They are not you. And as you look deeper at these, you realize they're not actually from you. These beliefs that have been around for a long, long time and have hurt you deeply for a long, long time, they are not actually yours. When you look at them, you come to recognize them. You see them in your parents. You see that these are the beliefs of your parents. They're not even yours. They are theirs. They are the ones that you heard them say underneath their breath. You heard them yell and scream loudly. You heard the complaints. You saw the actions that they take and the reactions that they took. And they were all of these beliefs. And you have them now inside of you, but they're not yours. And they never were. They were always their beliefs. And in that, you realize that and you recognize that and you begin to pull the water that is yourself, this glorious, pure, blazingly beautiful, clear water to yourself. And you let the beliefs and the thoughts and the fears and the rages and the angers sit there. And now you realize that you can, without focusing on any one of them, try to get rid of one of them, because that's literally impossible, because they've been crowding your life in the whirl and swirl of your life. You realize that all as one, you can simply release them. You can let them go. You can let them go away from you. And whether they fly out the sides or fall to the bottom and fall completely out or rise from the top, they all completely as one leave. And they are no longer inside of you. All that is left inside the glass is the beautiful, clear, crystal clear, beautiful, light-filled water that is you. That was all you have ever been. That's all you ever will be, and that you are. And as you let go of these other beliefs, as they fly away, as they leave you, as they separate all as one, you begin to feel suddenly the openness inside of you. You feel the lightness, you feel the heaviness of them leaving, and you feel only the lightness remain. You almost feel the crowded aspect of yourself that used to be is now gone. You're no longer crowded, you are simply you. You feel the absolute openness of that. You feel the absolute peace of that. And once the peace has settled in, you feel the joy. You feel the joy of it just being you now for once. Those beliefs were never yours. Those fears were never yours. You finally recognize that they were other people's. They were never yours to begin with. They felt like they were yours as they whirled and they swirled and they ran around inside of you like nothing could stop them. But you just did. You recognized that they were never yours to begin with. Totally and completely never yours. And they are now gone away. And you focus and feel on the openness of it. Again, the openness that you feel, the utter peace now, the ability now to fill yourself as you will with the beliefs that you choose, the life that you want to live, the beliefs that you want in your life to keep repeating, that you can then begin dancing with to create the world and the life and the dreams that you want. This is your life now. Those old ones, those beliefs were never yours. They were never, ever yours. Ever. And you have released them. Released them completely out to where they belong. There is no animosity against them. They were not bad. They were not good. They simply were. But you realize now, with a great sigh of relief, they never were yours. You didn't have to get rid of them. You could simply let them go. And you have, and they are gone, and you are peace. And I want you to sit here with them. Sit here with yourself as your true self, the person you always knew you were, your beautiful, glorious, crystal clear, complete and whole self. And feel the openness, and feel the peace, and feel the joy. And take a light breath in and let a light breath out. You feel the relaxation. Take a light breath in and a light breath out. And a third and final light breath in and a light breath out. And now you may open your eyes. I hope you could feel that. I hope you understand that those beliefs were never yours to begin with. You took them on. It felt like they were yours, but they're not. They never were. Those fears and those thoughts and that anxiety and the anger and the rage and the hatred were never yours. They never, ever were yours. And knowing that, you have released them completely and utterly and all at once, and you are free. You're now free to be who you want to be, to accept and create the beliefs that you want in your life in order to create the life that you want, the beautiful life that is you. Keep this up this week. Keep going at it. Keep going back in and feeling this, and feel the release, feel the letting go. Have a wonderful week. Love you.